While addressing the press today at the Uganda Media Center, the Minister of ICT and National Guidance, Honorable Chris Baryomunsi, said despite the Health Ministry's order for mandatory COVID testing for all truck drivers entering the country from various border points, which forced the drivers into a protest that led to low fuel supply, the ministers of the East African community agreed that laboratories be mounted across the region to test COVID-19 and results be accepted across the East African region. The minister said that every truck driver with the results acquired in the last 14 days of testing, together with passengers, be allowed to proceed and are not subjected to any other tests.
Earlier on, the ministers of the East African community and those of health had met and made some agreement as the sub-region of East Africa, where one, they had made an assessment of laboratories in the region and accredited several laboratories in the region that would carry out COVID testing, and the results should be acceptable across the region. Up to 66 laboratories were assessed and approved, and I think in Uganda we have up to 22 laboratories which had been approved. So that if a test is carried out by a laboratory in Uganda that has been approved, then the results should be accepted across in Kenya and Tanzania and South Sudan. That arrangement had already been arrived at. The ministers had also agreed that we accept results which have been given in the last 14 days.
The Honorable Minister also added that they resolved that all truck drivers who requires to be tested should be tested, and the Ugandan government will meet the costs of the tests.
Done as a government in a bid to resolve the impasse which had been created by the truck drivers, is that we have now harmonized as a region to say that the truck drivers and all their passengers who reach the border points with the negative PCR results that have been given in the last 14 days be allowed to proceed, should not be subjected to another test. Secondly, we also agreed that if there is a truck driver or any other passenger they are carrying who requires to be tested, he or she should be tested at the border. But the cost shall be met by the government of Uganda.
The minister finally commended that with all these measures, the fuel trucks have started their entrance into the country. But however, the minister cautioned fuel business performers to return to normal fuel prices and not being so exorbitant to consumers.